Our next inductee is very, very special. I hold a special place for high school coaches because I know the gig, and I know how hard they work, and at times are underappreciated and without question underpaid. That said, Warren Mitchell had an extraordinary career at Lyman High School. I remember I grew up as a Lakewood kid, and my dad, for some reason I remember this, would continually talk about Lyman. I didn't even know where Lyman was, but they were so very good, and they did things the right way, and they won every single year, and they were the kind of people that, at least at that time, back in the late 60s, my dad said, you know, that's the kind of program. So I just followed Lyman from that point on, and they've had legendary coaches there, none more so than our next inductee, a multiple state champion coach in terms of sports. You stop and think about that. Football, basketball. I can't even tell you how many times Warren Mitchell coached state championship track teams. Let's take a look.
It can be mind-boggling to think how much a high school coach can give to a community, to a school, to one single student. Warren Mitchell was simply a coach, but he was much more than that to many over his near 60 years of coaching. Colorado's Eastern Plains are filled with tough, tightly knit towns. Mitch was a perfect fit. It was in Lyman that he pretty much coached everything, seemingly forever, providing opportunity, leadership, and education for more than 5 decades. Coach Mitchell's legacy is as broad as the skies of Eastern Colorado, winning state championships in football, basketball, and delivering a long list of track and field champions.
I have had great success, I think, because of the type of students I've had here at Lyman High School.
Warren Mitchell was certainly one of a kind, a welcome and deserving addition into the Colorado Sports Hall of Fame.
And accepting for his dad tonight is Bill Mitchell. Congratulations. You're welcome. You bet.
Before I begin, thank you. I'd like the Mitchell family back at table 41 to all stand and receive a thank you as well. Well, they're a little shy, I guess. In 1952, our father, known as Mitch to everyone who knew him, took his first teaching and coaching job in East Colorado. He didn't even own a car, so he took the train back and forth to Denver. An example of the kind of impression that Dad makes on his students and athletes is that he often heard from some of his former students at Eads for over 50 years, even though he was only there for a very short time. In 1953, Dad took a job teaching science and coaching in Lyman. He quickly fell in love with the community and knew this was going to be his home for a very long time. Badger football is an important part of Lyman's legacy, and as an assistant head coach to Lloyd Gaskell and Chris Brown, Dad was an important part of the dynasty that amassed 11 state championships. Dad became the head football coach in 1979 and continued that dynasty with 1 state championship and 1 state runner-up championship. Dad's basketball teams were always well prepared and tough. If you ever saw the movie Hoosiers, that was so Lyman High School back in the early days of Dad's career. Like Gene Hackman in the movie, Dad also stressed fundamentals and also had that fiery, competitive spirit. Dad was known for giving officials a hard time, but most of the officials in those early days, such as Irv Brown, just shrugged off his complaints because they had immense respect for him. In addition to his 4 state championships in basketball, Dad was selected to coach the South team in the 1963 All-State game. His team was the underdog, and many thought that they could not match the talented North team, which had most of the state's top prospects at the time. Well, Dad proved the naysayers wrong, and they upset the North. This was one of Dad's fondest victories of his career. By the way, I was born about 2 days later after that, just so you know. Dad's favorite sport, without question, was track and field. Coaching track was a passion, and he coached for 59 years until at age 84, his health would not allow him to continue. He and longtime assistant Don Bailey, who's here tonight with his family, developed a program that was second to none. In addition to his 12-team state championships and 4 state runner-up championships, Dad hosted one of the most sought-after invitational track meets in the state. The Warren Mitchell Invitational Track Meet will host its 51st annual meet this coming Saturday. Dad was more than a great coach. He was a beloved husband and father, a devoted member of his church, and a loyal and active member of his community. He was also a mentor, and through his involvement in the Colorado Coaches Association, he helped develop hundreds of young coaches over the years. Dad was extremely grateful for his many awards bestowed to him over the years: the National High School Activities Hall of Fame, the CSHoF Hall of Fame, Colorado Coaches Hall of Fame, and the National Coaches Hall of Fame. This prestigious award, this one, however, meant the most to him. Sorry, I missed my pages here. He had just learned of the induction to this award just prior to his death in November. He was very proud and extremely appreciative for this honor. On behalf of my family, we proudly accept this award for our father. Thank you very much.